welcome, all that other fun stuff. But I'm having a tough day. I'm having a tough day, having a tough week, having a tough life right now. That's the whole point of this podcast, is to be as honest and real as I can possibly be. So, I'm pushing through it. I'm doing it. It's tough. It's tough, but I'm doing it. It's tough. I feel like every time I come on a podcast, I always sound like I'm sick, and I'm not. It's just me just waking up. Literally, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I woke up like maybe 30 minutes ago. It's tough. But, welcome to Just In Case You Missed It. Or, in case you missed it. Don't want nobody being like, she stole my title. On today's episode of Wellness, Pop Culture, and Music, have you ever it's been tough, man. I have not went to the gym since the last episode. I've been really mentally trying to go, but I just cannot will myself to get up. And I really want to go at 6 a.m. I don't want to go later than that. It's like my mind is like 6 a.m. or bust at this point. I used to do CrossFit at one point. And I really enjoyed it. And CrossFit was like really fun. However, it wasn't for me. It was fun. It wasn't for me because I was doing it for someone else, or to like not let someone else down, and not for me. It was really challenging because it wasn't like, beginner class or like beginner levels or anything like that. It was literally, you jump into where people have been doing it for months, years. There you go, your first week, you're doing the same challenges as them. And eventually you'll get up to where they are. But for me, no. Then I went into kickboxing. I really enjoyed it, but kickboxing is expensive. And I moved out on my own last year. And when you put all the expenses that you have, and I live in Chicago, so all the expenses that you have on top of everything else, some things gotta go, and you wish it wasn't health or food, but sometimes it would be both. So I'm just, I have a membership, and it opens at 5 a.m., which is great, because I'm like, I want to get there, get in, get out. I don't want to be there with like the people who are like either really super serious, but they tend to like on their breaks, they tend to watch you. That's annoying. That's so annoying. It's not okay that they do that. It's not okay behavior. Or the people who hog all the machines, the good machines, or the influencers that have to take pictures, because let's be honest, we're all human. Before we're anything, we're human. If you don't have the body that you want, it is not motivating, or you do not want to see somebody with the body that you want just posing, taking pictures right in front of you, and you're just like you turn into a hater 100%. And people who lie and say that they don't, you're a liar. You turn into a hater, like for a split second. Like, I wish he or she or they would get out from the mirror, because this is ridiculous, So that's that. It's been tough, but I believe a turnaround is coming soon. It's just been a lot going on with my job, and I just currently was thinking I was going to work for the summer at my job, but now they're like saying something different, and I have to look for a new job just for the summertime until I believe September. And on top of that stress, or of like, how am I going to pay my bills, my mental has just been up and down lately, and I just go through phases where I just don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to shower. I don't want to brush my teeth. The smallest things are just so difficult for me to do. And I'm just so fatigued. Sometimes it's so bad to the point where it's like I literally get some type of anxiety if I have to leave the house, because I'm like, I don't want to leave the house, but I'm like, I need toilet paper or I need to get food. So like, I'll like figure out a way to not have to leave the house, because I really just don't want to leave the house. I'd rather be in the house by myself. I like make plans, or I say I want to do something, never follow through with them. And the biggest thing for me is I know when it's getting bad is when my apartment gets really messy. I don't have too much in my apartment. My apartment is not that huge. Like, I have like a living room, a small dining room area, really small kitchen, really small bathroom, a decent sized bedroom because I have a king size bed. So, and I have like the little thing when you first enter into my apartment, it's like a little entryway. It's not huge, but it's cute. So I have a cute apartment. It's perfect for one person. And it gets messy, and I don't have that much furniture. Like, I have a couch, TV, coffee table, end table, I think that's what you call it, like an end table. I have like my desk and my computer set up in my living room because it makes sense to have that. I could have it in a dining room area by the kitchen, but for me that would be so weird to like walk there to do it. It just makes sense. It's like right there, the TV's right there, all the entertainment's right there. And even in like a small amount of things, it can get so messy. And when it starts getting messy, mentally I know like it's about to go down. Like small things, like not folding my towel and placing it on my little towel rack by color. I do it by color because it's so satisfying. Like, I like to have the darkest color at the top, at the bottom, and then the lightest color at the top, because aesthetically it is pleasing. I may like reverse that, because I don't know, it just feels like it's rooted in some type of weird racism. Like, yeah, the darkest color is at the bottom. But yeah, like, I noticed that. I noticed my bed is not getting made as much. My makeup, my makeshift vanity is not, all my makeup, my brushes are not clean. My makeup's everywhere. My clothes are everywhere. It's trash everywhere. Like, I'm not like in a pigsty, but if you know what it feels like to have a clean apartment, apartu, as what the Korean, if that's what Korean, but if you know what that feels like, like what it feels like when it's messy. But if it gets that messy to which every room is messy, obviously you need to take a step back and figure something out with your mental. So the things that I like to do when I'm getting into that, or if I'm starting to recognize that it's starting to become that for me, is definitely praying. I'm not religious. I feel like I'm more spiritual, because I do believe that God is real. I believe that it may not be the God that we've been taught our whole lives, but it's a God that is so individual to each person. That's how great God is, if that makes sense. It's like, I don't believe it's like white Jesus or anything like that, but I do believe he's real. I believe Jesus is real. I believe God is real. I believe angels are real, because there are a couple of times in my life where I'm like, something has to have been protecting me. So I definitely pray, and I do read a daily verse every day, which actually does help. I didn't realize that it helped until yesterday. I had a moment with somebody like 100% disrespected me, and I counted to 10, but also like I went into like a little corner and like read my daily verse again, and it just gave me so much peace. So I definitely appreciate the daily verses. And in a second, it's a reason why I'm really appreciating it too, because another thing that I do when I'm getting into this mode of like, I'm just having a tough time mentally, I find myself, I take things slow, if that makes sense. I just take a second, get it at a pace where I'm like, okay, what is happening? What's going on? And I reflect, and I really, really like take the time to do it. I don't rush things. I don't be like, all right, what's the problem? It's more like, okay, what's going on? I definitely do clean room by room, because my cleaning is so chaotic, and I realize that how you clean is like how you kind of live your life. I know that's like kind of deep, but it is, because how I clean is like, I'll clean here, I'll clean there, I clean there, clean there. Okay, well, it's clean enough. And sometimes I have to force myself to be like, no, Nikia, clean room by room. If you started in your living room, you move on to a different room until that's clean. If you did your bedroom, you move on to something else until that's clean, and it does help. I definitely motivate myself, and I know that's like weird, not weird, but it's like, okay, but I motivate myself by like letting myself know like anything that I want, anything I want to achieve, anything that in life that I feel like is in arm's reach, or any goals that I want to do, I can do it, Nothing's stopping me, nothing's in my way but myself. I'm never going to achieve my goals if I don't get my biggest obstacle out the way, and my biggest obstacle is myself, and the fact that I have a scratchy throat every time I want to do a podcast. So I'm drinking my vitamin water. It's really good. I always drink the Focus Kiwi Strawberry. And I know this one is weird, but I let myself cry. I am a crier, given that I'm so emotionally connected to myself. I know like my feelings are just my feelings. But there are times where I just don't let myself cry. Like a tear will fall, and then it's kind of like I mentally tell myself, I don't want to say. If you hear somebody arguing in the background again in Chicago, I'm sorry. but I just let myself cry. You need to let it out sometimes. You gotta just let yourself cry. And like I said, I recognize the behavior. I recognize it, and So, there are things that I can work on. Things that I know that I think by me like talking about this, like maybe you find yourself not being able to, do this, and that's leaning on people I care for, and people who care for me. And leaning on them doesn't exactly mean like every time you're having a bad day, you call them, or every time you're having like a mental breakdown, you're just always calling them. It's more just like, just if they say that they're going to be there for you, use them. Don't abuse it, but use it. Just talk to them. Just be honest with them. Let them know, hey, I have been having a bad couple of days, and just really, do that, and even use them to hold you accountable for, like, if you want to go to the gym. Like, if you have a friend that if you want to set a goal, they're going to follow up with you and be like, oh, so what are we doing? Use that friend. Use that friend that's gonna be like, didn't you say you wanted to go to the gym? That was like a week ago. Have you been? Not in like a way of like, what are you, like, that way, but more just like, you want me to go to the gym with you? Or like, what are we doing? What plans are we putting into place? Because these are goals that you want to set, and I want to see you set them, and I meant do them. No, I want to see you set them, and I want to see you actually reaching for your goals. Exactly. So definitely for me, consistently seeing my therapist. Don't see her that often. I know I need to see her more than what I see her now. Pushing myself to want better and to do better. Obviously, it's easier said than done. It's so easy for me to get up on this podcast and be like, just if you want better, do better. It's easier said than done. That's for anything. However, it's really real. If you want better, do better. You cannot depend on anybody or the universe or God or whatever you believe in just to one day plop your dreams into your lap and just be like, here you go. Or plop your goals into your lap and have them all finished and accomplished. You have to want to do it. Do better. And it's okay to say, I haven't been doing great. I've been mediocre. I've been plateaued, or I've been living, paycheck to paycheck, day by day, just kind of not connected. It's okay to do that. I feel like I'm going through that in a way. It's like I'm connected, but I'm not connected to my dreams and to what I want to do and to what I'm supposed to be doing in life. As much as there are probably things I want to do, what am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be? So it's okay. And obviously be consistent with small things and all things. My biggest thing that I've been consistent with are my Bible verses. Like, I've literally 18 days of like looking at my Bible app, and that's a huge thing for me. I am not consistent with anything that I want to do. Even with this podcast, like, I was going so strong with like the sports part of it, and then it just stops because I got into my own head mentally, like, who's gonna listen to me? Like, I don't know enough. I need to research it. How am I supposed to get it out there? Who's gonna like, oh my God, no one's gonna want to listen to me. No one, all these people who actually play the game have podcasts. Like, what am I supposed to offer? And I finally got out of my head and realized I offer a lot. I watch the game just as much as they do. I study the game just as much as they do. So why not me? And I had to get out of my head, and it's like, you're gonna have to get out of your head and just do it and be consistent with the smallest things. Like, for me, my Bible app lets me know that I can do it, that it's possible, that if I just take it one day at a time, one small thing at a time, I can do it. That's why I know, like, 100% I can go to the gym, because I know myself, and I know when I put my mind to something and I'm being consistent, I can do it. So this week, just do it, man. Be consistent. Recognize that you're having a tough time and take a step back and figure it out. Figure it out. Use the resources around you, whether it's a therapist, a friend, a book, a podcast. Just do it. I already kind of feel a little bit better talking about it. On a lighter note, not lighter, but on a more lighthearted discussion for our pop culture. Who white liberal women using the Tupac song for Roe versus Wade? Now, Tupac said, "I say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice." That's what he said. That was a lyric for "Keep Your Head Up." That's the first thing that he said. Yet these women, and it's not just white women, it's also other women who are just like fighting hard tooth and nail to be like, it's about all women. No. In an interview, Tupac said it was about black women. You can tell the song was about black women, and it was a song to black men about how they should be treating black women. So why are you, come on now. I just feel like every time on TikTok, because that's really our subject today for pop culture is TikTok. It's not giving, man. It's always white women using something that was meant for black women. And my thing is just what has not been meant for white women? Songs. There's so many songs. Come on now. Y'all have a whole genre that y'all stole from black people with songs dedicated to y'all. Country music. Just for the ignorant people who don't know, country music, rock. Y'all stole two genres, y'all got it. Use songs in that. Use pop music that y'all also took. Y'all were like, ooh, let's have watered down R&B and put a little bit more bubblegum sounds to it that makes it more appealing to the masses. That's what pop is. Pop is watered down R&B. Pop is literally when when you make Kool-Aid and somebody has diabetes, so you gotta put half the sugar. So with pop music, it's half the meaning, half the message, half the talent. Sometimes half the talent. So come on now, white women, y'all got so much. Y'all could have used Taylor Swift. What song would have been great for white liberals for Taylor Swift? They could have used Me, the someday I'll be living in a big old city and all you're ever gonna be is me. They could have used that. Or Shake It Off. And the play is gonna play. And they could have used that. To get their message across. They could have used so much. I'll talk about it in music. But they could have used something like that. They could have used so many words or songs. They could have, listen, no, not that song. Never mind. I was about to say they could have used the Lady Gaga song, but never mind. Not that song. If you know what song I'm talking about, then you know that song is not even available on Spotify no more. So, but white women, other women, y'all got so many other songs y'all could have used. Stop doing that to black women. I think black women are really getting sick of your crap. I'm sorry. I feel like it's not hitting the same way when I say crap. I think I know black women are sick of your shit. I know I am as a black woman. I'm tired of it. I'm just listen, do something else. Y'all have the beauty standard for some odd reason. People around the world believe that long, straight brown or black hair or wavy hair with blue or green or like light colored brown eyes are what make you beautiful, with like sharp noses and sharp jaw lines. That's the beauty standard, and by science, white people are beautiful. Okay, scientifically great. But y'all already the beauty standard in a lot of things. Y'all already the standard in a lot of things. A lot of things are written and made for white women all the time. So please, when you're going about your life, please remember that sometimes, yes, there are songs that are not made for you, or songs that are not meant for you, and you should be okay with that, because you have 1,001 other songs that you can use them. So, Kevin Samuels. All I'm gonna say is, I'm tired of black men speaking on black women. I'm tired of this narrative that black women hate black men, and the whole thing with people being mad about, like, on Twitter, it's like a Twitter thread or whatever, and hopefully it's passed, but people are making a lot of podcasts, or not podcasts, or were they podcasting this? I don't know, I'm not sure, but they were talking about this, and I like to talk about it afterwards, because quite frankly, it's annoying to think that these men are just so upset calling black women evil because we didn't care. And I say we because I didn't care about his death. Like, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that anyone would die. It's unfortunate that, you know, maybe he was having like health issues, and whatever he was, you know, whatever he was dealing with in silence because no one knew about it. But it doesn't negate how he lived his life. Like, he lived his life talking about black women, especially bigger black women. I know some people probably think, oh, there are some people who he actually felt like, or not, there's some men who felt like he actually was helping people, and that black women are just mad because he called us out and we don't like to be called out. I've even seen other women too say the same thing, like, oh, you know, us, you know, we just can't accept responsibility or anything like that. And I don't think that's the case. I believe that black women are really hard on themselves. I believe that black women, more than anything, we accept reality a lot of times. Sometimes we don't with certain situations, but a lot of times we have a really good self-actualization about us. Look it up. Look up what self-actualization is. I hate saying that word sometimes, but I believe we have it a lot. Like, we are very aware. So that's just not what it was for me. I don't really, like I said, it's unfortunate that someone died, but I don't believe black women are evil and mean-spirited when they're just like, okay, well, he didn't do anything for us, so, you know, I'm gonna let God handle that. So that's where everything is. TikTok, man. TikTok has been a blessing and a curse. I believe TikTok has made social media fair. If you guys want to know what I mean by that, I mean, yes, there are the non-talented white people on TikTok who are TikTok famous for literally stealing dances from other smaller TikTokers who happen to be black, or I don't want to say happen, but they are. Yes, they are there. There are a lot of TikTokers when the app first came out who got really famous literally for being white and somewhat decent looking, and they really don't have talent. I don't, you know, it's just like people are just watching them eat and being like, oh my god, they're so funny. Because that's the type of world that we live in. White people get to live in their mediocrity when it comes to talents. Yet other, you know, people of color, sometimes, mostly black people, have to be amazing to even get half the recognition. We all know this. So yes, there is still on TikTok. TikTok still be playing with like how they treat their black creators and the content that they make. However, I believe TikTok does make it pretty fair for people who are like average to have like a bigger following than someone who's just pretty. Like, I do believe you have to have some type of talent. You have to be some type of funny or likable for people to follow you. I do believe that. So I believe it's like the good and the bad. It's like you really do have to be somewhat talented or somewhat likable or palatable or something in order for people just to follow you. You can't just be posting videos of yourself and just being like, oh, pretty, because people would be like, okay, so I do like that aspect of TikTok, and I like the fact that you can get your For You page for content that you like, and it does have like a not interested thing that you can do. I do it all the time. I really do. I use that button all the time. And people who the person I want to highlight to follow is Black Tragic Girl. That's at BLKGRL and Tragic, TRAGIC. I love her content. She cracks me up. She makes me laugh. She just says everything that we all want to say as black women, sometimes black people. And I love her. So if you're not following her on TikTok, you need to follow her on TikTok, as well as follow, in case you missed it. Yes, follow me on TikTok as well. I haven't posted any videos yet, but I'm probably going to tomorrow, just to kind of like, do more on social media for my podcast. And then who I follow are mostly black women. There are some black gays that I absolutely love. Women and men for black gays. And then I feel like it's a couple of Asian men that are really cute. I ain't gonna hold you. Usually I go back and forth with following non-black people on TikTok because I'm like, I like to keep my For You page nothing but black. But there's a couple of them that I'm like, okay, they cute though. So like, they're cute. So, I do not have like an Asian fetish. They just happen to be very attractive, and I'm just okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I do follow only one white creator. I'll probably say it tomorrow, next Wednesday on another episode who I follow, because I really like his content, and he's really funny and he's real, and I can tell like he's being genuine when he talks about certain things. So I really do enjoy him and watching him on TikTok. But that's all the people that I follow on TikTok. And to obviously round out our time together, music. I'll talk about this last. So I'll talk about this first. Kendrick Lamar is a genius. Kendrick Lamar is what we didn't know we needed. Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna pull my chair up so y'all can really understand me when not me almost breaking my desk, y'all. Gee, okay. Kendrick Lamar is amazing. However, I was in sync with this man until I saw Will Smith's face, and I was just like, okay, you lost me. Like I said last week, for me, it's the really, really, I'm for my people that are killing me with this Will Smith thing. It's literally respectability politics. It's nothing more than that. Because if you feel like seeing a black man hit another black man on TV was just not something that the world needs to see, are you serious? Like, other people fight, other ethnicities fight, other Asian people fight Asian people. Indian people fight Indian people. Mexican people fight Mexican people, Puerto Rican people fight Puerto Rican people, Colombian fight, like, I mean, I can go down a list of other minorities in this country that fight each other, and sometimes everybody in the world can see it. Yet for some reason, black folks, you know, Will Smith definitely should not have smacked Chris Rock, but it happened at the Oscars, and now all of a sudden, oh, he's hurting other people. He disrespected the fuck out of Jada. Like, I'm so lost and confused on where we're not sitting here acknowledging the fact that she has alopecia, and that's an autoimmune disease that actually, I looked it up, that can, you know, that could possibly lead to lupus. Look it up. And lupus is a serious thing. So, and even if you felt like the joke wasn't that bad, the only thing she did was make a face that she was uncomfortable. Will Smith acted on his own. And the whole thing about like bringing up August and her different boyfriends, even Rebel Wilson, bro, like if I ever see her, I'm like, it's just, to me, it's in poor taste. Like, y'all are quick to joke on a black woman, but y'all don't be joking on these other celebrities. And my thing with Kendrick, like, you missed the mark with the Will Smith thing. Everything else, I'm like, okay, OJ, yay, you know, yeah, some questionable black people that were influential. But for me, like, with Will Smith, it's like, you know, I just want to know where that same energy was when Chris Rock was letting white comedians say the N-word on national television, where you can see clips of it and they're just saying the word. And Jerry Seinfeld is the only one with some sense being like, nah, I'll never be comfortable saying that word. Kendrick, where is that same energy? I want to know. Like, are we going to make a song about that? Because we should. Where's the same energy when Chris Rock was saying, oh, how Obama can win an election, he needs to get a white woman. You know, he can't have no sister with her because the sister will want to run the country. Why are black women always the butt of his jokes? Yeah, those are his experiences, but if I was a comedian, I'd be talking about every other woman but black women. And if I do talk about black women, obviously, like, my experiences with them, okay, but like, come on now. Even in a documentary where he's supposed to uplift black women's hair, he's telling this young girl, this young Middle Eastern girl, oh, if you see black women run, like, what? Come on now, are you serious? And even when he hosted the Oscars, this man was like, they, you know, boycotted it because Oscar's so white. Mr., you know, Coon of the Coon was shucking and jiving for the white folks, being like, oh, well, they weren't even invited. Oscar's so white. So, Kendrick, where's the song for that? Like, please, where's the song? I have that same energy. That's how I feel. Where's the song? Please. I'll help you write it at this point. Because usually I'm super, like, Kendrick Lamar is, like, everything to me. He's, like, one of my favorite rappers. Period. But I'm like, bruh, come on now. You should have had Chris Rock face, too. Because he hurt black folks, too. And he hurt people, too. Black women. You know? So, that was my little rant. That's where it is. Calm down. Latin music is definitely underrated. I feel like people need to really, really get onto this Latin music. And I'm not just talking about reggaeton. I'm not like, no, like, actually listen to their music. Like, not just that. Like, Latin music is so underrated. A song that I have on repeat is Mi Mayor Venganza. Mi Mayor Venganza by La India. So I obviously saw a TikTok song of it, and I went to, like, it was on TikTok, and then I went to do my investigative reporting. And I listened to the whole album. The whole album was fire. La India, I have the whole album on, like, my fave albums, because that whole album was fire. I was jamming the whole time, and that's how I was just like, people need to get out of just the Selena and like Jennifer Lopez and like the big people, and just like really get into it. Because like one of the honestly, Ricky Martin is underrated too. If you guys have ever like go on Spotify and listen to like the This Is playlist that they have, I love the This Is Ricky Martin playlist. He has some really good songs in there. But I just be jamming. I'd be like, well, I mean, about to dance because it's good. This is good. And an artist to listen to is obviously who I mentioned last week, DPR Live. Man, I'm trying to get this man famous than what he is, because his music is everything. I love his music. His music is top tier to me, and you need to listen to DPR Live. 100% listen to DPR Live. Please listen to DPR Live. Do me a favor, listen to DPR Live. And just to round this out and end this on a really good and bad note, because some people about to be mad and some people about to be happy. I don't know how they're going to take this, but it is what it is. I'm a huge fan of BTS. I love BTS. I've been a fan of theirs since 2017. We're in 2022, so that's about a good 5 years. The group debuted in 2013. They were already together prior to that. If you know anything about K-pop groups, it sounds like I said K-pop groups. Even though they debut in a certain year, it doesn't mean that they weren't like training in together, before that. So they debuted it in 2013. At one point they were about to, disband, and it just seemed like everything was not going right. Then they got their, big break, and people in the United States started listening to them more, so they got famous overseas. And then obviously the fame in Korea started to blow up, and you root for them because they were from a small label, a label that nobody really heard of. Like, they weren't part of like the big three, and for them like winning one of the most prestigious Asian music awards, and they're not like a big company, that was a huge thing. Just giving you guys background on them, and it makes you root for them, and it makes you love them, and it makes you really, really just like want them to have all the success. And then on top of all of that, it just seems like they have great personalities. You love them, you get invested in like them as people, because you're just like, they just seem like such great people. But then the cherry on top of all of that, the personality, the hard work, is their music is really good. When they first debuted, if you don't watch the music video, the song We Are Bulletproof is 100% great. Like, We Are Bulletproof Part 2 is great. Like, it's a great song. And also No More Dream, like, it's a really great song. The only issues I have is them cosplaying black folks. It's just not okay. Like, RM and that perm, and them and them chains, and even like around the time where Dark and Wild came out and they were in America doing American Hustle Life, and Sugar would be like, yeah, you like this chain? $3. It's now that I'm like more socially aware of how black folks are portrayed, that's not okay. It's not okay that with Korean groups, when they first debuted, they're super hip hoppy. Other than SHINee, I want to say every single like newer K-pop groups that I've seen, or around the time BTS came out, I was like looking at like their debut songs, and I was like, so they were all dressing in baggy clothes, looking like they were cosplaying black folks. Like, what is this? But yeah, like they've grown, and I really find myself kind of not being that invested in them anymore. And I mean, I love them. I still every once in a while like will listen to their music because a lot of their music is on everything of mine, like Apple Music, Spotify. I have physically their physical albums. I've been to 2 concerts. Like they were in Soldier Field 2018, and I went Saturday and I went Sunday because those are my boys. Those are my guys. Like they're my guys. But I find myself like kind of divesting from them because I don't like how they use, like, obviously with fame you get less accessible, like it's not a lot of access to you when you become even more famous, so like they're just not accessible to how they used to be. Like it just felt like, I don't know, it just felt more real at one point. Now it really, like, I know they're celebrities, and I know this is so weird, but it's like now they even feel more like celebrities, and it's just like making me feel like I don't particularly like any of their English songs. I feel like they didn't put that much effort into their English songs as they did their Korean songs. And even some of their Korean songs I've been given the side eye to, like in B, Fly to My Room is okay. Is that the best song that I've ever heard by them? No, it's really not. Blue and Gray is cute, but it's not that great of a song. There's a couple of songs that I'm just like, I just feel like y'all just put something together and just kind of put it out there, knowing that y'all fans will love anything that y'all do. You know, I feel like that's how it's starting to feel for me, is the quality of music is not what it used to be. My favorite album by them is Wings, but even then, before Wings, their music before Wings was amazing. But Wings, for me, solidified me as a fan, because I'm like, it was methodical. J-Hope is probably all around like a triple, like honestly, like a triple threat, 100%. Jungkook is amazing, but Jungkook is like, to me, he just gives me Justin Bieber vibes. Like that's what it is. He's like an Asian Justin Bieber that's really good at sports though, and really athletic, but that's what he is. I think Jimin is underrated as a vocalist. However, I want him to take more vocal lessons. V just be doing his own thing, and I wish V would, be friends with like Music Soul Child and vibe with him, because I feel like V would benefit from that. Jin, I love me some Jin. I think Jin has some of the best single songs. Like Moon, 100%. People sleep on Moon. Moon is a great song. It was well produced, well written. There was nothing, to me, I'm like, from start to finish, there was nothing wrong with Moon. Obviously, the 3 rappers, they're the best rappers out of any K-pop group, period, to have ever existed. Like RM, Suga, and J-Hope are, no one's touching them as far as rapping. Hands down, I'll argue that till the day I die. No one's touching them as far as rapping. Please tell me a better rapper. Please let me listen to a better verses. I've been listening to rap my whole life, and I'm telling you, like, out of all the K-pop groups, those 3 are the best rappers out of every single K-pop group, before them and after them. Like, there's no one gonna be touching them, because everybody else, it just seems mad corny. I'm not gonna hold y'all. And I like some K-pop music. I don't listen to like K-pop as much. I really do just really listen to like maybe a little bit before BTS. TXT is probably the only new, or Tomorrow by Together, it's probably the newest that I listen to. Like I consistently listen to, but other than that, I don't listen to any new groups at all. And honestly, like, but I just feel like this. They don't have to sing in English, but if they do sing in English, put the same effort into your English songs than you do your Korean songs. Like, put that same effort. Please have the same energy, because it's not the same energy. It's not the same energy. My universe, that's like it's like a really nice kids bop song. That's how I felt. It was I can see Kids Bop singing that song 100%. It's gonna be on, like, if I don't know if Kids Bop is like gone, but if Kids Bop comes back, that song is going on there 100%. It's going on there. And that's just how I feel. Like it's hard to say this, because when I tell you, I remember my sister was like, bro, like, you really do love them. And I'm like, I do. I'm like 29 and I love this. Like, well, no, that was 5 years ago. So I was like 24, in love with like a boy band group. As you hear me cracking my knuckles, I shouldn't be doing that. But, so again, it's kind of disheartening, because like I said, you invest so much into them because you believe in them so much. And when you find yourself kind of divesting from them, it almost feels like you're not, it's like a breakup. It kind of feels like a breakup. Like, I feel like I'm breaking up with BTS. I feel like it was like the honeymoon stage, or the honeymoon stage, the infatuation stage of like, it's new, it's fresh, you're everything I've ever wanted in music groups. You have great messages. All of you guys are attractive. Most of you guys are tall, but I still feel like I'm taller than 100%. I'm taller than Jimin. I know I'm 100% taller than Jimin. I may be slightly taller than J-Hope and Suga too as well. I think me and V and Jungkook are like the same height, and I think Jin is slightly taller than me, and maybe RM. I'm not like Meg Thee Stallion tall, but I'm taller. So, it was a great marriage. It was a great thing that we had going on, but I feel like it's ending. I feel like a lot of the older fans have said the same thing I've said. It just feels like the connection is not there the way it used to be. And I really, really hope that it will get there one day. But until then, who knows? I mean, other than that, I know you guys have heard the difference in my voice. When I first started this, I was like, it's just a job day. Now I'm like, BTS, 방탄소년단. 사랑해, 방탄소년단. I used to love you. I gotta see how to say that. I used to love you in Korean, because I'm teaching myself Korean, you guys, and eventually I'm gonna get a tutor, but I'm teaching myself Korean because I want to go there. Their food is fire. Korean food is fire. But I mean, this was great. I feel better. So as always, in case you missed this, follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook page. There is a Facebook page for, in case you missed it. I even have my own personal Facebook page, Nakia Skinner. If you want to just add me as a friend, if you whatever. I'm also on Fanbase. If you don't know Fanbase, please follow me on that. I'm trying to get a lot of more listeners, because why not? I mean, share this with your friends, share this with your family. This crazy girl, who gave this girl a podcast? Just say that when you talk about me. But yes, follow me on all those things. And as always, in case you missed it,